Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Cammy's Craftiques. My name is Cammy. I hope you're all doing very well today. I'd like to take the moment to thank everybody who has subscribed to my channel. Anyone who is new to my channel and is watching it now, I'd like to thank you right now. If you could please subscribe, tap on the bell to be notified when I do upload new videos, give me a thumbs up, and comment below. All of this helps me keep my channel going, so I do want to thank every one of you who do watch my videos. So anyway, I'm getting ready to do a DIY. It's a Sunday right now. I am definitely dressed in my DIY clothing, which I have lots of it. When I DIY, I like to be really super comfortable. So this is how you're going to see me most of the time. I hope you don't mind. But anyway, to get on with this DIY, what you will be needing for it is a Dollartree sign. I chose this one. And I chose it because I like the edges on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off this belt, scrape that cardboard, it comes off super easy. Then I'm going to sand all the glitter down to the sign and make everything smooth. The next thing you will need is some Waverly chalk paint in white. The next three paints are by Apple Barrel, and the Waverly I bought at Walmart. It's a little under $7 for an 8-ounce container. The next ones are all Apple Barrel brand. These are really super affordable. They're 50 cents a bottle. You will be using Elephant Gray. Let me pull that back a little bit, sorry. You will be using Jet Black. And you will also be using Burnt Umber. You will also need a pen or a pencil. It doesn't matter because pretty much you're going to be covering it up. You will also need a ruler. What else will you need? You will be needing some twine. And most importantly, you will be using these window clings from Dollar General. And on one of my hauls, on my only Dollar General haul actually, that's when I picked up these. And I already actually have a video up of another project using this sign in this truck. So this one sheet is going to get you 2 projects. Okay, so pretty much I think that's all. Oh, nope, there's one more thing else you will need. You'll need either Mod Podge or white glue. I make my own Mod Podge because I don't have any on hand. So you will be using that. And of course you will be using some paintbrushes. Okay, so now I have my sign, the glitter removed all off the sign, which I'm going to do, I think, a video on how I decided to do it instead of using sandpaper. All I used was an old debit card, credit card. I scraped off the glitter, and then I got a damp paper towel and removed the rest. And I kind of like this method better. I am going to do a video. It'll be a quick video of how to remove it now that I discovered it's easier to do that way. So pretty much all we're going to do, let me bend this down. So pretty much now all we're going to do is we're going to get our Waverly chalk paint in white. I either use a container such as this, but I'm just going to pour some on my sign. And I'm just going to get that first coating on. So what you're going to do, you're going to cover the sign totally with the white chalk paint. Okay, so you're going to cover all the edges, and so far this is just one coat of the chalk paint. What I really like a lot about this chalk paint is that it dries pretty quick. And it covers like the picture below really well. So while this dries, I'm going to pause the camera for a little bit while it dries, because I am going to do at least one more coat, and then I'm going to turn the camera back on. Okay, so now that the paint is all dry, what we're going to do next, we're going to hold our sign this way because it's going to be easier with the ruler. And let me point something out. There is, what I'm going to attempt is 3 slats. And we're going to use this as the guide, as one slat would begin here and one would be here, and the middle one, you know, it'll be the third. So all I'm going to do next, I just have a pen and a regular ruler, nothing fancy, nothing special. And I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to try to make it straight as I can. But when you think about this, a farmhouse sign may not be straight. This is what I love about making these signs and making it my own wood look, because there is nothing that can make it be wrong. There's no way that you're going to do this wrong. And I'm telling you, if I could do it, you all out there can do it also. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of line it up, and just with the pen. I don't have a pencil, otherwise I'd use a pencil. I'm just pretty much making my first line. And when you look at this, it's not going to look like much. Okay? But at the end, it all comes together, and you're going to be surprised at the results you get. I mean, if you have paper or something, you could decoupage paper on instead. Excuse me. I just prefer to, I don't have paper on hand, and I just wanted to really show everybody not only the project, but if you only have paints on hand, so you don't have to really run out and buy anything special. And even my colors, excuse me, if you don't have the same exact colors, use whatever you have. Okay, I had to pause there for a second. I had a little coughing fit. Okay, so now what you're going to do, you're going to just take your Sharpie. I don't have a regular Sharpie. I'm just using, it's from Lowe's. It's just a permanent chisel tip marker. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go over these lines. And I'll tell you, if it doesn't, it's going to be thick. It'll probably be crooked, but the end result, you're going to see it's going to be all right. Okay, so I'm just going to continue with my Sharpie, going over that initial line I drew with my pen. Let me move this so I don't smudge it. Okay, so I'm going to do that line next. And again, like I said, if it's not straight, it's okay, because think about it. When a board ages, some pieces are not always straight. Okay, so far this is what you're going to have. All right, your next step, you're going to use your jet black. And I'm only going to put a tiny bit in here. And you could see there's all different colors dried out in here. But it's okay. So I'm going to just put a tiny, tiny bit. I don't know if you can see that, but I put a very small amount. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use this brush. It's a rounded brush with rounded bristles. Let me see if it just says Craft Smart 1/2 inch 1.27. I don't know if that'll help. I've had this brush so long, I'm not sure even where I picked it up. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dab the brush very lightly. Then I'm going to pretty much dab in a dry spot, or I'll even take off some paint onto my cardboard. I always paint with craft paper or cardboard, something underneath, because I do tend to get messy I don't know if you can see my shirt, but my shirt's full of paint. I have quite a wardrobe of paint. So the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to very lightly just go around the edges. Okay? So I'm not even going to keep loading my brush. I probably will load it one more time. Now I want to get the corners especially. Let me back that up. Okay. So you'll see I'm making sure I get the corners. So I'm going to go around this entire sign with this. And again, I'm going to load my brush again. Now I'm loading it where I kind of dabbed off. Okay, so I'm going to pause this as I go around. When I come back, the whole sign, I will have gone over with the black. Okay, so now I went around the entire sign, as you can see, and you'll see here I hit it with a little bit too much black paint, but it's okay. So that's why I'm saying there is no wrong or right way to really do this. And there I just, splattered a little bit on there, but it's not going to matter. So now with almost your dry brush, that's the whole key in here. Keep using your dry brush. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to try to soften this line. I'm softening because it's creating like a shaded, softer line. Okay, I don't have enough. So again, I'm going back in and I'm dabbing off some of my paint because you don't want too much on there. And lightly, I'm brushing over here. Could you see that? So pretty much all I'm doing is trying to soften up this line some. So again, I'm going to go into my paint, dab off. You'll see it coming off. And then on my little cardboard, I swirl some off also. So again, I'm going to soften now this line. And I love that there's no right or wrong with this. Okay, so now I'm just trying to pick up a little more black, and I'm going to, I gotta take some of that off. Now I'm going to pretty much go over the edges, back and forth. Grab a little bit more, swirl off a little bit, and then I'm gonna go down. Okay, now what I'm going to do, because I pretty much softened my lines, I'm just gonna start going with throughout the white with some black. And again, key is pretty much a dry brush. And all you're doing is you're aging this white paint. That's all you're doing. And you'll see like I have a bit more here. At the end, it's going to kind of look like a knot. So I'm just brushing and brushing. And I'll tell you, this effect right here, just with the black and the white, you could do, this would be a good Halloween sign. Just because of just the black and the white. So I'm pretty much trying to cover whatever I can in the white. I'm just dry brushing, as you see. I'm just dry brushing everything. Wherever I see white, I'm going to dry brush a little bit of black to soften up what I'm doing. Okay, my edges. Get these edges down here. Okay, now I'm pretty happy with how much black I have on here. So now my next color we're gonna go to is the elephant gray. And okay, so now in the same container, I'm gonna just move, because I still have black wet paint in there, and I really don't think I'm going to need more black. I'm just going to now maybe a drop or two of the elephant gray. Same brush, I didn't even clean it. I'm going to dab now my brush into the gray, but then I'm going to come back to my cardboard and really take most of it off, okay? Now what I think I would like to do is still soften up these lines, okay, where we did with the permanent marker. So I'm going to dry brush again. Now some gray. I'm going to pick up where I just dabbed off, okay? Now I'm going to dab a little bit of the gray, swerve off, and again, I'm trying to soften up. I'm trying to soften this up. Now, if you have even like a coastal decor in your house, instead of using the black, you could use just the gray with the white and a gray permanent marker, and it would be like a good, you know, coastal theme. I live in the low country, so a lot of people have that going on. Okay, I got more gray. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of go over these edges of black. I need a little more gray. Okay. Okay, I'm just going over everything because I'm just trying pretty much to soften up that black. Okay. I think I wiped a little bit too much off. Let me dab a little bit more. Okay, so you can see the couple of drops that I have, I'm just swirling it around and I'm wiping it in the plastic. So I'm just going to, I need to take some off. Just where that black is, I'm kind of just going over the black. And it's just giving it another effect. Okay, now I'm going to pick up again. You know there's not much in there. And now I'm going to start dry brushing. Wherever I see some black, some white, just random. No two pieces will look alike. Just like in nature, nothing ever looks identical. There's always something different. Okay. So right now, what you pretty much have is something that looks like it should be a Halloween sign. Now, if you were doing a Halloween sign, you definitely could just do this and like write beware in red if you like. Okay, so I'm just picking up any of that gray that I do have in here, and I'm just gonna go over my sign, just randomly. Soften up some edges. No right or wrong. Okay, my next step, where I had the gray, you can see there's nothing there now. Now I'm gonna put a drop or two of the burnt umber. I'm thinking 2 drops will probably be sufficient. Okay, so I'm just gonna swirl that around, tap it off. Okay, tap a little bit on my cardboard, and then I'm just going to start brushing again. Okay, and I start always, for some reason, me particularly, I always start off with those lines that I drew on, just to soften it up a little bit. Okay. And this is pretty much, if you think about it, when you're out and you see a weathered sign, there's all these wonderful colors in the sign. So we're just really recreating what nature does to a piece of wood. Okay, so I'm just trying to I'm still softening up the black and the gray. And I blobbed some brown there, the burnt umber, but it's okay. Okay, I'm going to put another drop of the burnt umber in there. Okay. Swirl my brush in. Wipe most of it off very lightly now. I'm going to start going over my sign. Still dry brushing, and you'll see it's starting to get the effect of wood. Okay, a little more burnt umber. We're gonna go over here. More burnt umber. I'm just picking up whatever I have in here. So technically, I think I only used three drops. I didn't really use that much. So I did the 3 coats of the white chalk paint, and now I'm just finishing up. You know what? Take a little black, maybe. Rub it in. Just see what it comes out with. Okay. So now you're having a piece that looks like actually a piece of wood. I think I want to add just a tiny bit more of burnt umber. I mean, you're going to play around with this and you're going to know when you want to stop, what you think looks good. But like the best thing is just to create what you think. And there is no right, no wrong. I love that. So anyway, while I'm doing this, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm from New York City originally. I moved down to South Carolina. I'm in the Low Country. I think it's about 8 years now. My daughters are both up. One's in Manhattan. The other one is in New Jersey. The younger one, the one in New Jersey, has 2 little boys. So I have 2 grandsons that I miss terribly right now with the pandemic going on. I work full time. And I like doing crafts. I bought my own home on my own, which to me, that was like a huge accomplishment. I was a single woman at the time in a place that I only knew one person. I transferred with my job and I wound up buying a house. Now my house is pretty small because, first it was just me. And it was me and my first Boston Terrier, Haley. So when I bought the house, it was a foreclosure. And I was so happy that I was able to afford my own home. But I really didn't have money to buy whatever I saw online or in the store. So I started being a little creative. So I do a lot of DIYs. So it's just up until recently that I figured I'm going to start showing, everybody how I do it. I also love thrift shopping. I'll do some DIYs from there. I do love a lot of vintage items. So on my channel, you will see vintage hauls. To make a little extra money, I do sell on Mercari. All different things I sell. It just all depends. If you're interested in that, just watch a video, I guess that's upcoming, and you just search. You could search the item that you're interested in or anything, because I don't think on Mercari you could just type in someone's name. Okay, so anyway, enough about me. Here is our piece that actually looks like a piece of wood. Okay, so the next step, you're going to grab your sheet. I'm just showing you a new one that I have because my sister actually wants one of these sheets. So this is actually her sheet. And like I said before, I already used this big Christmas truck and this Fresh Farm sign on a different DIY. So what I'm doing is pretty much using up the rest of what was left on the sheet. I don't want to peel it off of this sheet because, like I said, it's going to my sister. So I'm going to put it on the side. So you'll see me working now pretty much upside down. I already have the pieces. When I did the last DIY, I cut the wooden part out of the Merry Christmas. And I thought, ugh, I kind of screwed up. But it looked okay. Now, I'm not decoupaging this quite yet. But have your decoupage ready. You're pretty much going to put your pieces wherever you like to put them. And let's see. We're going to put the car. I'm going to try to center this best I can. Because I'm not going to, you know, video me decoupaging. Because we all know how to do that. The only thing I say is if you have decoupage, I don't have any. I mix figure about 2/3 glue. I use white glue, like Elmer's glue, to about 1/3 of water. And I noticed that pretty much worked out well for me. Now on this one, I'm going to kind of overlap the deer. I got to center this better. That's why I didn't want to just decoupage it down. I wanted to take my time. Okay, so I mean, this is a little bittersweet. You see the old truck, the vintage truck driving away with his Christmas trees. And in the background, you do see the forest, you know, critters, which kind of broke my heart when I first had this on here. But I was like, it's all true though. This is what we do. And then I'm just going to place some snowflakes just randomly. Maybe we'll do some right there. Now, it is a little hard to see this, but you know what? It just blends in so natural that I'm really happy how this came out. Maybe we'll move this one a little bit. So I'm not gluing it down, but I am going to give you what this sign looks like. So that is the full sign. And there you have it. That was one quick and easy DIY. I know this took a little bit longer because I did the technique of the wood, but thank you again all for staying to the end. If you like my DIYs, please give me a thumbs up. Comment below, subscribe, and hit that bell. Thank you again. Enjoy your day. It was so much fun being with you.